The CMMG Mk4 224 Valkyrie, let's check it out. Odin would be proud. CMMG is on the forefront of bringing out AR-15s in a number of different calibers, whether it's the 458 SOCOM in their Anvil version or their Mutant, which was a hybrid 7.62 by 3.9 AR. Beautiful, well, just great shooting guns. And that's one thing that CMMG honestly was one of the first lowers and lower parts kits that I ever built. They've been around for a long time making really good AR-15 stuff. And so today we're going to be taking a look at their new Mk4, and this is the DTR in 224 Valkyrie. The 224 Valkyrie caliber or cartridge has really gotten a lot of excitement. And guys, I'm going to tell you, there's a ton of different calibers that have been designed over the past couple of years. You know, whether it's 6.5 Grendel, the 6.8 SPC, you know, the 6.5 Creedmoor, which is more of an AR-10 size AR. But that's one of the big things about the Valkyrie, is that it is made to fire out of your standard AR-15 platform, which gives it a great size. But with all those new calibers, I'll tell you something, guys, this 224 Valkyrie is really impressive. In Nordic mythology, the Valkyries would go through the battlefield and pick and choose who was to die and who was to win. And whoever died, they would accompany them or carry their body to Valhalla and let Odin decide what to do with them. And with the ballistics of this rifle, it's pretty telling because, guys, you can really put those rounds where you want to. Now, there's one thing about it, this rifle is gorgeous with that burnt bronze. I mean, they did a fantastic job with that. It comes in a number of different Cerakote finishes, but the burnt bronze, I just wanted to mention it because it really shows up very well with the black. This is a 24-inch barrel, so it's a very long rifle. But one of the things that I've learned with CMMG, because I've done a number of different reviews with them over the years, and I've been using CMMG products for way before I even started my YouTube channel, is that they just make good quality, solid stuff. I mean, there's just no way around it. But now they've been stepping out into some of the more exotic, more performance-driven calibers, and so they are really become, you know, the tip of the spear in a lot of ways, but keeping that reasonable price, which is really big for stuff like this. You know, a lot of the more expensive companies will jump on and the rifles are $3,000. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, this rifle I believe is like $16.99 full retail, and of course, you know, you can get it for less at other places possibly. Then of course the Cerakote I think runs about $150 more. Of course, first thing we're going to do is just lift it off our stand, and we're going to check to make sure the chamber is empty. Now, one thing's for sure, this barrel is long. It's 24 inches, and that's to get the optimum performance out of the 224 Valkyrie, especially if you're going to run it out to distance. And all the testing that was done was with a 24-inch barrel as far as with Federal, all their ballistic data that they're showing. So this makes it a perfect candidate. The barrel is a 1-in-7 twist. It's 1416 stainless steel, and it has a salt nitride bath. Stainless steel typically runs more accurate than your chrome molybdenum, but typically they don't last quite as long, but you're not burning a lot of ammunition through this, and you really want peak performance, you want your peak accuracy. The rifle itself overall is 44.5 inches, so it is a long rifle. But again, guys, this is specifically for those long range shooting situations. But, you know, it'll do well even at, 25 yards. But this definitely is designed to get out there. Now the CMMG SV muzzle brake is included. It's half by 28 threads. You have your ports on the side, and then you have ports coming off here. And this is very effective at taming recoil. Now this does have a rifle length gas system. It's underneath the barrel. It's a 0.75 inch diameter. And it is steel. In fact, it's 4140 steel, the gas block. This is going to allow for softer shooting with that longer gas system. And then we have the CMMG. This is a 14-inch free float handguard. It is M-LOK compatible. The upper and lower receiver are 7075 T6 aluminum, which are up to spec, good quality. We have a ambidextrous charging handle, and this is a CMMG, and it's even marked CMMG, and it is a nice charging handle. Of course, you got your forward assist and your dust cover, and it also has an ambidextrous selector, which makes it nice as well. Of course, they're going with the Magpul PRS stock, which is adjustable, both pull and comb. And of course, these are really nice. I really like these on a nice precision rifle. Has the QD points, and then we have a Mo pistol grip. This one does have an extended butt pad right here, which I found made it fairly long. So that's going to be able to accommodate a lot of people, and then you can bring this on out. A really nice addition to the rifle is the Geissele SSA trigger. This will allow you to get really good accuracy no matter what rifle you have, as long as you have a good barrel. But these are just excellent triggers, and they're not cheap. It's really nice to see it in this rifle. Now the optic I'm using is the Leupold VX3i. It's the LRP, or long range precision, 6.5 by 20x. This is a beautiful scope, and we were able to dial in without any problems. In fact, after we went to the 1,000 yard, I drove it all the way down to 0, and I was dead on at 100 yards. This is an excellent scope. I just highly recommend it. I got this at Optics Planet, and I believe you can get a 5% discount using Suit00, and I'm using one of the American Defense Manufacturing QD mounts. Sighting in the rifle at 100 yards, we're using the 90 grain Gold Medal Sierra Match King. This stuff is fantastic. This is the first 3-shot group. I bumped it up just a little bit. It was still shooting a little bit to the left, but that was a 5-shot group here. This is less than a 1/2 inch, and even the 5-shot group was less than a 1/2 inch. Now here on the right we have the 224 Valkyrie, and then 5.56 on the left, and you can see immediately that the case diameter is totally different. It's much fatter, and the bullet is really long. Of course, this is a 90 grain bullet. I believe this is actually just a 62 grain, so there's quite a bit of difference. And that makes a difference also at the rim, which you've got a larger rim. If you want to convert your standard AR-15 into the 224 Valkyrie, there are 3 components that you need to change. Number 1 is the barrel. You can use your standard M16 AR-15 bolt carrier, but you need a little bit larger bolt, and the 6.8 SPC bolt is perfect, which makes it really nice. That way you don't have this unusual proprietary bolt that you need to fit to the 224. So that's going to be a big plus. And then also your magazines. This is a 6.8 SPC magazine, and then here's your 5.56. I've got 224 Valkyrie in both, but you can see that right here at the top, the way these fit over the round, you get more support to the cartridge with the 6.8. A little bit longer. It's going to keep it down longer. And then also here with the tabs pulled down, just a few differences with the magazine, and it's going to make a big difference. Now, I did use successfully 5.56 magazines. In fact, I used this one because I forgot my 6.8 magazine, and I was able to do it fine. But for optimal performance, you need to go with the 6.8. Now, one of the things that's great about 6.8 is it's not just a Wildcat type cartridge. There's a lot of these out there on the market. These are the ASC mags, good quality magazines, and these are available at gunmagwarehouse.com. In fact, I got these on Gun Mag Warehouse. I believe that the 10 rounders were running like $13.99, and then the other magazines ran up to about $14.99. 224 Valkyrie in the center. We have 22 Nosler, and then 5.56 or 223. Here on the right we have the 6.5 Grendel. We have the 6.5 Creedmoor. Creedmoor definitely goes into your AR-10 style. It's so much bigger, it just has to. The cool thing about the Valkyrie is it matches ballistics with the Creedmoor as far as trajectory and as far as bullet drop. And that is just key, because this has been an overwhelmingly incredible round. It's really taking over the precision rifle championships. I'm not going to get into a ton of detail, but I do want to hit some high points. One big thing is you're just more accurate at supersonic velocity. And the bullet, once it goes below supersonic, it starts to tumble, it becomes unstable. The 5.56 loses supersonic speed at about 775 yards. The 22 Nosler loses supersonic at 790 yards. The 224 Valkyrie loses supersonic past 1,300 yards. And then you go with the 6.5 Grendel, it loses supersonic speed at 1,100 yards. So your Valkyrie is going 200 yards more than the Grendel, which is considerably more than the 5.56 or the 22 Nosler. So that is a huge difference. You're going to get out past 1,300 yards with the Valkyrie for accuracy, which matches the 6.5 Creedmoor. But the 6.5 Creedmoor is a bigger bullet, and you're going to get some more ballistic advantage. But as far as an AR-15 style platform, the 224 Valkyrie has a lot of big advantages. And then when it comes to recoil, the 6.5 Creedmoor has about 10 pounds of foot energy on your shoulder. The Grendel has 7 pounds. The Valkyrie has 4.35 foot-pounds of pressure, and that is less than half of what the Creedmoor is. The big thing is you're able to keep your target in your scope, you're able to follow bullet trace, and you can see impacts even better. At 1,000 yards, the Valkyrie has about the same energy as the 6.5 Grendel, but yet has the same wind drift and bullet drop as your 6.5 Creedmoor. Now this is from the Federal Premium website, and if you'll notice that the 224 Valkyrie, using a 90 grain Sierra Match King, has 92.76 inches of wind drift at 1,000 yards. It's 391.56 inch drop at 1,000 yards. 22 Nosler, a 77 grain, you've got 161.52 inch wind drift, and you have a 481.05 drop. Then look at the gold medal 223, 77 grain, 156.75 wind drift, and then 519.44 inches of drop at 1,000 yards. And then gold medal 6.5 Grendel, 130 grain bullet, 108.04 inch wind drift, and a 507.36 inch drop at 1,000 yards. So the 224 Valkyrie is superior to all three of these calibers with both wind drift and drop at 1,000 yards. Guys, to be honest with you, when CMMG got in touch with me and told me they were releasing the 224 Valkyrie, I could not wait to get to the range. Unfortunately, the 1,000-yard range at our gun club, you have to sign up for it, and it took us a little while to get there, but man, it was well worth it. I want to thank Federal for supplying some of the 224 Valkyrie, and it really gives us a chance to test this out.
He's banging the middle out of it. 500.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, right in the middle.
Yep.
Okay. Now 700. 700.
Hit.
Well, that takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Really?
Yes, sir. 800. Dead center.
Wow.
You see that?
I saw it.
800.
I had no ballistics data for this thing. None. I was like, let's just...
What's going on? It was me.
I said, let's just try my 6.5 Creedmoor data for 400 and see where we're at.
Yep.
Right down there. Yep.
See it right next to the other one.
Mm-hmm. Hit.
When I saw it moving.
Got it.
Yeah, I can see it shaking. Dang, man. That is one long pause, isn't it?
That's an impressive little round. After holding the round in my hand, I wasn't real impressed with it, but dude. Got it.
Yeah. 1,000 yards, baby.
That's a hell of an impressive cartridge.
Man, that is something else, man. Yeah. And I want to thank Robbie Wheaton's assistance. It was big in getting out to 1,000 yards. And I'll have the full video linked right here and down in the description. Now, out at the range, there are two big things about this rifle. Number one, the lack of recoil. I mean, it's really mild. It's less than half of your 6.5 Creedmoor, which is even less than your 308. And so it's a very pleasant recoil on your shoulder. But what really is the advantage of that is that the scope doesn't jump as much. So you're able to keep your eye in the field of view. You're able to watch bullet trace. You're able to track your bullet. You're able to see impacts. And so that is in itself a huge plus. But again, because of the accuracy, sub-MOA out to, you know, hundreds of yards. It's not just at 100 yards. That's the thing about this bullet. It is so flat shooting and just so accurate. And then, you know, getting that out to, again, 1,000 to 1,300 yards. There's a lot of capability with this round. So, you know, and then with the being in the AR-15 platform instead of the AR-10, it's a lot lighter. It's not so cumbersome. I mean, I love the AR-10 rifles, and you know they're great, but they are heavier, they're bigger, and that's one of the things about this rifle. With the 24-inch barrel, though, it does add some weight, but it's still slim, trim, and very easy to maneuver. After I got my accuracy down, really finding out where we were hitting, took it out and just rapidly started shooting 100 yards. And it was just so easy to stay on target. That has a lot to do, again, with the light recoil. And then moving out to 200, you know, being able to hit those steel targets, it's really kind of neat because you hit it and it takes a second or two for it to come back. And then out to 300 yards, being able to transition really quickly, being able to see where those shots are hitting. And that is, again, a huge advantage of the lighter recoil of this rifle. And then, too, it's a 90 grain bullet, so it's more than you're going to be able to fire out of your standard AR-15, which tops out at about 77 grains. So there's a lot of cool advantages of the rifle. And then, of course, already there are 4 different options for bullets, bullet weights. So you're going all the way from 60 to 77. Then you're going with a 90 grain, but you have 2 different Fusion and then your Match King. Now, your Match Kings are running about $27.99. I believe your standard American Eagles are running $14.99. I found those prices on Palmetto State Armory. So this ammunition is really becoming available. And again, as the SAMI specs have been released now, there'll be other ammunition companies coming in. Another great thing about this caliber is there are a number of different companies that are already making rifles in this caliber. So we're going to be seeing a lot more out of the 224 Valkyrie. One thing, though, that I want to mention, I'm a big fan of the 6.5 Grendel. And it goes out to about 1,100 yards. But it's a heavier projectile, so you're going to have more ballistic energy. There are going to be some advantages, and then you've got your 6.5 Creedmoor. There are going to be some advantages. You know, no one round does everything. I don't care what it is. But I think that the 224 Valkyrie is coming really close to bringing a lot of options. It gives you a lot of tools in your toolbox with just one caliber. Pros and cons of the rifle: definitely superior in ballistics, less wind drift, less bullet drop than any other caliber that fits into the standard AR-15 platform. And the ammunition is available already with Federal, 4 different choices, which makes it nice. And then the SAMI specs have been released, so this ammunition should start to really become available in a number of different configurations. Great for hunting, great for target practicing, great for getting super long range. Even though if you wanted to go out to the 100 yards, it's still a very accurate caliber. But then you have that extra, you know, that can really get out there. The ammunition cost, starting out with the American Eagle at about $14.99, it's very reasonable. And then of course you're running up to the gold medal match, which no matter what caliber you have, it's going to run more expensive. The CMMG quality with the stainless barrel and the bolt carrier and all the different features, and of course the PRS stock is definitely a huge bonus. The ambi controls. So, and then of course if you want to go with the Cerakote, there's a lot of features available with that. 6.8 SPC magazines, while they're not super available, they are fairly common. So that's a plus. Now, on the negative side of that, though, is they're not as common as your standard 5.56 mags. So you're not necessarily going to be able to run into a store and just find them. And also the 224 Valkyrie, it's starting to really get out there, but that's another thing. It's going to be a little more difficult to find than a lot of other calibers, which is going to be a little bit of a negative or more of an inconvenience. But more and more companies and more shops are going to be carrying this because the round is just fantastic. Of course, the cost starting out at about $1,699, and again, that is retail price. We're probably looking at about $1,500 for a good quality AR-15 with a lot of these features. I mean, this rifle is not really overpriced. It's, to me, in a good price range. But still, for a lot of guys, when you're looking at your standard AR-15, which you can get for about, $500 to $600, and that is a super base model, that could be a little bit of a hurdle, obviously. But really, overall, this is a fantastic setup if you're looking for something to really get the range out there. And guys, if you're looking for really good precision, long-range shooting, you're used to going a little bit out of your way to find the best. And I think that CMMG has really put together this beautiful rifle. And again, it's much less than most of the competition out there. And again, reliability was just top-notch, no malfunctions whatsoever. And I want to thank CMMG for their sponsorship and sending this rifle for this test and evaluation. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm supposed to send this one back, and got this scope dialed in just right, and how sweet it shoots out to 1,000 yards. May have to be counting my pennies to see if I can pick this one up. But regardless, I will have a 224 Valkyrie sooner or later. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. The CMMG 244 Valkyrie, Odin would be proud. Here on the front, we do have a Picatinny rail section that came with the rifle, I believe. Which is an AR-15 style rifle that uses, but for optimal performance. And this is their Mark IV. It's their DDT, TDDD, DDDD rifle. CMMG and 224 Valkyrie, let's check it out. These people flying over my house. What's wrong with them?